Raekwon Davis is back in the headlines, but not in the way he would have hoped. Once a promising young defensive tackle for the Miami Dolphins, Davis took his talents to the Indianapolis Colts last offseason, securing a 2-year, $14 million deal. It was supposed to be a fresh start, a new chapter. Instead, it became a short-lived experiment that the Colts just ended by cutting him loose after one season. They saved $6.5 million in cap space, and Davis is now back on the market. For Dolphins fans, the news is interesting. Davis played 4 seasons in Miami after being drafted in the second round in 2020. He started 48 games, held down the middle of the defensive line, and was once seen as a key part of the team's future. But things changed in 2023. Vic Fangio arrived as defensive coordinator, and suddenly, Davis's role diminished. He started just 7 games and saw his snap count drop to a career-low 45%. Miami let him walk in free agency, and now, less than a year later, his tenure in Indy has come to an end as well. 17 games played, just 15 tackles, and a mere 30% of the defensive snaps. The production simply wasn't there. And Pro Football Focus rankings confirmed what the eye test showed. Davis struggled, ranking 113th out of 117 interior defensive linemen. It's a tough fall for a player who once had so much promise. So now the big question, could a Miami reunion be in the cards? The timing is interesting. The Dolphins have 3 defensive linemen set to hit free agency, meaning there will be roster spots to fill. Davis knows the system, knows the team, and could provide depth. But at the same time, Miami moved on from him for a reason. His role was shrinking, and his impact wasn't what the team needed. Would bringing him back be a step in the wrong direction? And even if the Dolphins do show interest, what kind of contract would he even get? Because after his struggles in Indy, that $14 million price tag isn't happening again. While Miami ponders its options on the defensive line, the offense faces an even bigger question. Who will be the third wide receiver? This has been an issue for a while now. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle form one of the most explosive duos in the league, but the offense still lacks that reliable third option. Last year, Odell Beckham Jr. was in the conversation, but nothing materialized. This time around, the Dolphins are expected to be aggressive in finding an answer. And the options? They're intriguing, to say the least. Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Robert Woods, Chris Godwin. Any of them would instantly elevate the receiving core. The problem? The price tag. The Dolphins aren't exactly sitting on a mountain of cap space, and some of these guys are making over $20 million per year. Is that something Miami can afford? Should they even try to make it work? There are always ways to manipulate the cap, restructure deals, push money down the road, but that comes with risks. The team has to weigh whether it's worth splurging on a big-name receiver or if a more cost-effective option, someone like Robert Woods, would be the better route. Woods may not be the flashiest addition, but he's reliable, experienced, and wouldn't cost a fortune. Miami needs to be smart about this. Hill and Waddle are already elite. Do they need another superstar? Or just a dependable third option to round things out? Of course, free agency isn't the only way to build the roster. The NFL draft is right around the corner, and the Dolphins have plenty of needs to address. The offensive line remains a priority. Protecting Tua Tagovailoa has to be the top concern, and Miami could use an infusion of young talent up front. Will Campbell and Marcus Mbao are names to watch. Then there's the tight end position. It's been a while since the Dolphins had a true difference maker there. Tyler Warren could be a prospect worth considering. On defense, the secondary needs some reinforcements. Even with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard in the mix, depth is crucial. Will Johnson and Siobhan Revel Jr. are potential targets. And then there's the wide receiver position. Even if the Dolphins add someone in free agency, it wouldn't hurt to bring in a young playmaker through the draft. Teteroa McMillan and Trey Harris could be intriguing fits. But no discussion about Miami's offseason is complete without mentioning the latest swirling rumors around Tyreek Hill. It all started with a cryptic social media post. Hill, never one to shy away from stirring the pot, hinted at trade news that had Dolphins fans in a frenzy. Was he actually on the move? The idea seems almost unthinkable. Hill is one of the most dangerous weapons in football. Miami gave up a haul to acquire him. And yet, in today's NFL, nothing is ever certain. When pressed about a potential return to Kansas City, Hill downplayed the speculation, saying he prefers to stay in Miami. But for a player as electrifying as Hill, speculation is always going to be part of the equation. And then there's another looming question mark, Terron Armstead. The veteran left tackle has been a rock when healthy, but he's now reportedly considering retirement. Losing him would be a significant blow, not just in terms of his play, but also his leadership.